A few years ago, when Canon released the 5D Mark III, it became our key portrait photography tool. We used it for hundreds of portraits over the years, and for a while I don't think we were the only ones. Many photographers relied on the 5D Mark III. Well, that's many years ago now, but can the 5D Mark III hold up for portrait photography in 2026? We're going to find out coming up next. So to test the 5D Mark III in 2026 for portrait photography, we're going to do something a little bit difficult, radical, ill-advised. Well, we're going to try something anyway. This is a shoot that's going to be inspired by the portrait photography of George Hurrell, who shot many of the Hollywood stars of the 1930s during the golden age of Hollywood. Now, Hurrell used the lighting that he had available in his studio back then, which was largely tungsten and often Fresnel lights, and he was, of course, shooting indoors. Now we're going to turn that on its head. We're not going to use any constant lights. We're going to use flash. We aren't shooting indoors, we're shooting outdoors. So we have the bright sun to contend with, and we're going to try to get rid of the sun by using our flash sync speed and possibly high-speed sync. We're going to build this portrait one light at a time, starting with no lights, adjusting for the backdrop, which is the background lighting, and then we're going to add the hair light. George Hurrell used a hair light frequently, and we're going to add that hair light in this. And then we're going to add the key light. We're going to balance our exposure the way hopefully we want, and hopefully we're going to come out with a glamour photo that is a little bit like what George Hurrell would have done in the 1930s. All right, in terms of lighting, what you can see in the shot here is to camera left. We have our assistant Tim. He is holding an AD200 flash in a beauty dish, and we have a little bit of diffusion on that beauty dish. To camera right, we have the hair light, which has a grid on it. I forget which degree grid that is. I think it's going to be fine no matter which grid it is. We just want a little splash of light on Denise's hair, and our model today is Denise, and she is going to be posing like Dorothy Lamour in the portrait that George Hurrell took of Dorothy Lamour way back in the 1930s, and we're going to see if we can't sort of duplicate that look. All right, the first step in building a portrait, and this is just what I do, you may do this differently, you may use a light meter and that would work out great. In this case, I'm not using a light meter, so I'm going to just use the camera meter. I'm going to build this shot one step at a time. First, I'm going to expose for the ambient light and get that ambient light level how I want it. In this case, I want the ambient light level to be pretty low. So I'm going to take a measurement of that. Okay, and I have the exposure meter pretty much right where I want for the ambient light level, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that shot. And what I'm looking for in this case is very, very little ambient light whatsoever. And so for settings to do that, I am at f9.0 for aperture. We're at 1/200th of a second at ISO 100. Now the next step is I'm going to use the hair light over there, and I'm just going to make sure that I get the hair light to show up exactly how I want in the shot. So I'm going to go turn that on, and we'll come back and we'll see how we're getting hair light on Denise. All right, now that AD200 is in a grid, and it's on 1/128th power, so not very powerful right now. We may have to bump that power up a little bit, but let's take a shot. And I think I'm going to bring that light a little closer to her. I'm getting a little too much spill, so I'm going to use the barn doors to kind of modify where that light is spilling. All right, now we're going to take a second shot. That is not hitting you where I want. Now I think I'd like to have a little bit more power on that flash, so I'm going to go into my menu settings on this camera and I'm going to pump that power up a little bit. Okay, so I should have 1/32 of a power on that now instead of 1/128. Let me just double check that on the flash itself. Yep. So this might be going from one extreme to another, but that's how I like to do it. That flash even fire? Try it again. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Looks good. So next we're going to set up our key light. So Tim, bring you over here. Let's give me that on the side. We're going to turn that light on. I have to see the switch here. It's on. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do now that the key light is turned on, I'm going to go back into my menu settings and we're going to see what kind of power we have on the key light. And right now I've got full power on the key light, and we may as well go with that because I think we're going to need it to overcome the hazy sunlight that we have. So Tim, the way I'd like you to hold this, let me demonstrate a little bit. I want to get this over Denise a little bit so that the light is kind of falling down a little bit on her hands. Our shadow area should be on the back of her wrists, and we shouldn't have very much shadow on her face at all. Typically, if we're doing 3-point Rembrandt lighting, we would be shooting over here. We'd light this side of her face, and we'd have a triangle of light on her cheek. We want to kind of minimize that lighting pattern quite a bit for this. We should have more of a flat light for this look. So we want to get this kind of right over top of her, close by, not in front of the camera necessarily. Getting this positioned is going to be a little tricky.
You might have to pull up the...
Yep. But actually right there, if you can balance it there, Tim, let's try that. And we may have to switch your position, Tim, a little bit, but let's just go with this now for an exposure test. So Denise, your chin needs to come up a little bit more. And for the purposes of this video, I'd hate to say we got it almost exactly right, but we almost have it exactly right. In looking at this exposure, we have a little bit too much Rembrandt lighting going on with the triangle on her other cheek. There's nothing wrong with that, it's just not the look we're going for. So I'm going to have Tim remember how he's got this angled a little bit, but I want him to come around behind me and get this more directly over her instead of right off to the side like that. Which would be consistent with a typical beauty dish. So Tim, you're still a little off the side, come back toward me a little bit. Yep, now typical beauty dish placement is going to be so that the center of the beauty dish is pointed at the forehead of the subject. Okay. So you can back up just a little bit, lower it down just a speck, pull it back like that just a little bit. So if we're thinking about the center, now if you hold it right there, I'm going to take a look at it and see if we're looking at that positioning. And that probably is pretty good. Let me have you swivel it right, not too far, right there. Okay. So now this should give us a lot flatter look in terms of the lighting. All right, I'm going to take the shot. And that is exactly what we're going for. So, in terms of this lighting setup, we have the Canon 5D Mark III. I'm using a wireless trigger from Adorama. This is a flashpoint trigger, but it's the same as the Godox. It's the R2 Pro. We're using the AD200 flashes for hair light and key light. Those are also from Flashpoint, but they're just rebadged Godox. We've got a couple light stands, and we're using the Sigma 50mm art lens. That's an f1.4 lens maximum aperture. In this case, I ended up at aperture f/14, and we're still at 1/200th of a second, which is maximum sync speed for this camera. And that is all you need to take a portrait with the 5D Mark III, emulating what was done in the golden age of Hollywood, but without a studio, outside in the harsh summer light. So we hope you like this. Hope you like and subscribe. This is Visual Imaging Solutions. We'll have more in upcoming episodes. And let us know if this is the type of video you like to see from us. And if it is, we'll do more of this kind of thing coming up. Thanks for watching. Bye.